Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd do another one of my little vaping updates for you today. I know it's not the main content of my channel, but there was a few people that were interested last time I did it, so I thought I'd do another one. And the reason for it is that Mrs Hamster and I went down to visit some friends in Somerset over the weekend, and we popped back into the same vape shop we've been to a few times down there now, and I've done a video about it previously, and I will give them a plug at the end of this video as well, because no affiliations, not being sponsored, anything like that. Just think it's a really good shop. But what I wanted to show you was what we've picked up this time round. So this you probably will be familiar with. This is my Vapor Flask Stout. It runs off of a single 26650 battery, and it's a 100 watt mod that runs in both temperature control and sort of standard wattage mode and all the rest of it, coupled with my UL Crown tank with NI200 temperature control coils. And this is what I've been using for quite a while, since the last time we went down there, and it's been doing me really well. So you may ask, why have you bought something else? And basically I got drawn in by shiny things, as I often do. So what I have now not so much upgraded to, because I will be using both of them, and I'll probably carry both of them around with me, certainly if I've got a small backpack or something like that. But what I've moved over to now is this, made by the same company, Vapor Flask, and you can see it's got that kind of kidney hip flask style shape to it, hence the name. And this, in comparison, runs two 18650 batteries. And essentially I will get a longer life out of this than I will out of that. This is a 150 watt mod rather than the Stout, which is 100. Not that I'm ever likely to be using that kind of wattage on this, to be fair. I'm quite a sort of a moderate vapor when it comes to doing that kind of thing. I don't have kind of real high powers and high temperatures running through it. But this, it fits really nicely in my hand because of this kind of hip flasky kidney style shape. If I've got it in my left hand, it just nestles up against my palm. I can use my thumb to push the button, and the tank is sitting just on the outside. If I flip it round to my right hand, same thing, it nestles into the palm of my hand, and the tank is actually facing towards me. But this is a really nice little mod. And sorry, the tank, I should also say, this is a new tank to me. So this is a Joytech, get this right, Ultimo. And it runs either ceramic, which I'm not using, or Clapton coils, which I am, in wattage mode. Running this, just in case you're interested, about 55 watts I'm running this at. And it's just a really nice little tank. I mean, I've stuck a little vape band on there because it's got quite a large glass, whatever you want to call it, cylinder on there. And I've started using these. I've never broken a tank, fortunately, in touch wood, but yeah, I just sort of figured I'd start putting them on there just because I like to throw these into a rucksack and that kind of thing. But yeah, really nice tank this. As good as my Crown, which I've been using for a while now. This was kind of the creme de la creme for me for a while. So this is kind of certainly matching that, if not ever so slightly rivaling it. So that's my new mod. Now Mrs Hamster has been vaping with me for a while. She kind of goes backwards and forwards between vaping and cigarettes, and she really just wants to kind of just get over that final hurdle. So we went into the shop, explained everything that we wanted and what was working for her and what wasn't working for her, and we came away with this. And it's probably a good point here just to give a quick shout out to a young guy named Nathan, who I believe is the assistant manager there, and he kind of sat her down for a good half hour going through everything she wanted, and this is what we came out with. So this, the mod is a Joytech VTC Mini. Again, runs a single 18650 battery, and we got a Kanga Pro tank with a little custom drip tip added on as an extra, and yeah, it's a nice little mod. And in fairness, Mrs Hamster has been using this since we left the shop 3 days ago now, and yeah, it's been doing really well with it. And the last thing I wanted to show you was this. So this is a new e-juice that I'm using. and it's made by a company called Kilo, as you can see, and the flavour is Dewberry Cream. Now it's a combination of honeydew melon, some kind of berry that I keep forgetting, it's not actually written on the packet, and cream. Now when I got told what those flavours were in that combination, no, do you know what, no thanks, not really for me. And I basically got told, just give it a try, seriously, you'll really like it. This is now by far my favourite e-juice I think that I've ever tried, to be perfectly honest. It's really nice. It's sweet but not too sweet, and it's just a really nice juice. So if you are into your vaping and you want to try something new and you've not come across this before, really recommend giving it a go. It's just absolutely lovely. It's the only way I can describe it. It's a really nice juice. And then finally, again, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the shop we went to. So if you're in the Weston Super Mare area, or even if you're in Somerset and you're within travelling distance of Weston Super Mare and you're into your vaping, highly recommend checking out a shop called Bomb Site. I'll put a little banner up on the bottom here so you can get the website, and I'll put one in the link below as well, or in the description. But we've been in there, as I'm sure you know, a few times now, and it's run by a husband and wife, Jason and Cynthia, who are both really nice people, very welcoming every time you go into the shop, very knowledgeable about vaping, e-juices, mods, tanks, RDAs, RTAs, you name it. Every time we've gone in, not only have I got very good advice, but it's also been advice sort of aimed at me and the way that I vape. The guys will take that little bit of extra time to have a chat with you and find out what you want to get out of it, how you vape, what kind of thing you're into, and they'll generally, every time I've been there, they've been able to customise kind of what I've bought based on those kind of factors. And I've been into quite a few different vape shops, and a lot of them just want to kind of get you to hand over as much money as quickly as possible. And that's not what tends to happen in this shop. Never have I walked in there and had it suggested that I buy something that probably wouldn't suit me. There were more expensive things in that shop that I could have bought a couple of days ago, which I was looking at and considering buying, and I was basically told, do you know what, that's probably not going to work for the style of vaping that you have. And personally, I really appreciate that kind of attitude, because I could have very simply been led up a garden path and been told, you know what, that's the best mod there is out there, you won't get better than it, that's what you should spend your money on, because it wouldn't have had the benefit for me. And that's really the thing I like about this shop and the guys that work there is that they're a business, let's face it, they are looking to make money, but they're not looking to make money at the expense of you getting what you need. I've seen a few online reviews of this place, and a lot of them are saying the same thing. I went in there, and after spending that little bit of extra time, I got given the advice that I needed, and I bought the thing that works for me. I wasn't just saying, oh yeah, that's what you need to buy, take that, go away, because a lot of these places will sell you something they know you will sort of outgrow very quickly. These guys will say, actually, don't worry about this sort of budget starter thing. Move on to this intermediate bit, because you'll get an extra 6 months worth of use out of it before you decide you want to upgrade to something bigger, and that kind of thing. But anyway, guys, I've rambled on long enough. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Jason and Cynthia and Nathan at Bomb Site. Should say I'm not being sponsored, I'm not being paid to say this, etc. It's just a shop that I go to, or been to a few times now, had really good service, and just want to kind of make that known to other people. So these are our new setups. So I've got my original Vapor Flask Stout plus my new Vapor Flask Classic, which I'm going to be using them both in combination. This really nice Kilo Dewberry Cream e-juice, which I can't recommend highly enough. And then Mrs Hamster's got her nice new little setup as well. So I hope it was useful, guys. Comments and questions in the box below. Happy to have a discussion if you want to know anything more about this, or you've got other questions. And I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks, guys.